Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the orientation lecture or information session for the Master of Social Work. I can see we have quite a few people joining us, so that's great to see. In a moment, I'm going to put a PowerPoint up and I'll go through that. But for the moment, I just wanted, when I put the PowerPoint up, you won't be able to see my face. So I just want to say hi and let you know who it is that's speaking to you today rather than a faceless person. My name's Louise Butler and I'm the course coordinator for the Masters of Social Work. And I really hope that I get to know you all a lot more as the semester, the year, and the entirety of your course goes. Thanks for joining me. It's great to see so many people are joining online. It's really encouraging. I'm just going to now share my screen and we will go from there. I just need to let you know that when I share my screen, I won't be able to see anybody in the chat or any comments in the chat. So at different times, I might invite you to ask questions, but it will require you to take your microphone off mute and ask the questions. But until that time, can I please ask that you have your microphones on mute? And I think you all do. So thank you for that. Just a second. Just going to share my screen. Okay, so again, welcome to the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work. And I know that you are all enrolled to come to do the Master of Social Work, but we sit within that broader college of education, psychology and social work, and we work together as a college. So you may be connected into things that you're invited to do from the whole college rather than just social work. The first thing we always do, and is extremely important in our college and also at Flinders, is the Acknowledgement of Country. So Ninamani, we recognise that Flinders social work operates on the traditional lands and waters of the Kaurna peoples, and we pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge their sovereignty and continued responsibility to care for country. We respect the importance of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander knowledges, languages and spirituality and their relationship with country. And here at Flinders Social Work, we are committed to truth-telling about the history of social work education and practice in this state and working in partnership with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and communities to achieve a shared vision for reconciliation. So welcome. And I think that as you go through your course, you will see that this is a prominent acknowledgement which is given at the beginning of meetings, and also it will be given at the beginning of lectures. So for that acknowledgement, we take that very seriously. We see it as a demonstration of intent and respect, and it's a positive way to go forward. There is a introduction video for the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work, and I've put the link there. for some reason, I couldn't play it because I'm needing to share my screen. However, it's there for you to go and have a look at your leisure. It's got a lot of faces that you will see from the college in it, introducing different parts of the university and explaining where we're coming from education, social work and psychology. So please do go and have a look at that. As I said, my name's Louise Butler. I'm the course coordinator of the Masters of Social Work. I've been a social worker for 34 years now, and I have worked in a variety of different settings. I worked with, in the beginning, I came into social work. I did a Bachelor of Social Work with UniSA. And I came into social work as a graduate from high school and was really interested in working with young people, particularly young people who had been abused or were at risk and were finding themselves homeless. And I worked in that area throughout my university degree. As a youth worker, and then I also worked in that area for a while once I graduated. I then had a career working in the education department. I moved to London and worked in London as a social worker for nearly 3 years, and in London I worked in child protection. So that was a fascinating experience for me, both personally and professionally. Great insight, and it's allowed me to stay connected with people I have known since that time. So I recommend, if anyone is interested in working overseas, they really should go and have a look at that. When I came back from London, I did a master's in public policy and management. I was really interested in how big picture policy impacts individuals. So I really wanted to look at the systemic disadvantages and the real areas that have a very significant impact on the people that I had worked in. And that was fascinating. I worked in policy and I worked for a minister for a while, a Minister of Human Services. So I found that a really interesting look at how the machinery of government can contribute to social justice or contribute to sometimes social injustice. So from there, I went and worked back at UniSA, where I first studied and taught in social work. Then travelled back to the UK and for 3 years worked in a senior management role in child protection. And then for Bernardo's charity, working at quality, looking at quality and safeguarding for children with disabilities who were being adopted and fostered. So looking at behavioural support to support children, to give them the best opportunities to make their placements either in foster care or adoption work for them, because there was a high rate of foster and adoption placements breaking down, and that had a serious impact on children, particularly children and young people with disabilities. And from there, I came back to Australia and worked in positive behaviour support in disability services. Most recently, I was the Director of Behaviour Support for the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. And after a period, I've come back to Flinders. So I have continued to work for Flinders, teaching in social work for many years, leading up to me coming here permanently. And I love that combination of teaching social work students, working with social work students, and also some direct practice in the field. And I like to stay connected with the work I've done in the field. I'm a teaching specialist, clinical practitioner here at Flinders. So although I'm very embedded in evidence and am a strong follower of research, I am also primarily clinical and teaching specialist, which I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud and keen to share my experience as a professional social worker and links with the field with students. So I will be teaching some of you in two different topics. One is a brand new topic. It's called Engaging in Professional Contexts. And it's all about the organisations that social workers work in and the types of work that social workers do. I'm really looking forward to launching that topic this coming semester, from next week really, and working with students to understand what it is that social workers do in a huge variety of settings. And I gave you a little bit of a whistle-stop tour through my career, and I can honestly say social work has been an amazing career, because I've been able to do work in a whole load of different settings and influence the outcomes for people in many different ways. So that topic will be great for taking you on that journey, but also understanding how human service organisations work. And in that topic, I have engaged with many social workers who are in the field right now, and they have all had an interview with me, and you will be able to see those interviews and be able to connect with social workers who are in practice right now and the contemporary perspectives that they bring. From first semester, first year, I also teach a topic in final year or the final semester, and that is the final field education placement topic. And that's where you get your opportunity to do your second and final placement in the field and really relate all the things that you have learned throughout your course, and bring it all together and demonstrate your ability to practice in line with the practice standards from the AASW. So we can talk more about that as when you get to that phase. And I know that Janine Harrison has already done a presentation for you all, so a lot of questions you have about placement will be answered there. So if you're able to, and you can turn your microphone off, have a think about, or if you feel brave, let me know what you're excited about in starting your journey in social work and your studies this year. And also ask any questions about what you might not be clear about this year. Before we go into that, I will say I cannot see anyone putting their hands up, or I can't see the chat at all in this presentation. So we will have to wing it a little bit with you speaking up if you feel brave enough. If not, have a think about some of those things that you're looking forward to and what you're not looking forward to. I want to say in the first half of this semester, the thing that I am not looking forward to is that we have been required by the university to do all of our teaching online via Collaborate. So it is essentially by this same platform that you are watching this, although it will be more interactive when we meet in your Collaborate sessions. So it's the same format as you have come in today. On your flow page for each topic, there's a collaborate session. Go in, have a look at that, and press on the session that you are enrolled in, and you will see that there will be a lecture and a tutorial via Collaborate. And some of you might be doing your tutorials through an online discussion board, depending on the particular needs of the topic. I feel reasonably confident as I can in a pandemic, that from April we will come back live for all students to come back on campus. I think we may not have you all back in for those big lectures in big lecture theatres, because that would go against SA Health guidance. However, I feel reasonably comfortable that we will have you back in tutorial rooms from April, when we have seen how things have gone in the state. So we're really looking forward to seeing you all soon, but I want you to also know that we all became reasonably good at online teaching and live via Collaborate during the pandemic. So bear with us. It is very unusual times, and we are trying very hard to move out of this phase and have you back as soon as possible. Would anybody like to ask me a question at this point, or talk about how things are going for you leading into study? Remembering I can't see anybody's hands, and it will need to be a case of people just turning their microphone off. Okay. Yes, there is. I've had some chats I'm watching on my phone. People are saying they have no way of communicating with me, and that is correct. I am not able to see any chat, and I understand that you are not able to see any chat. Can I please reassure you all that that will not be the case when you are in your Collaborate session on in your topics. It is something that is peculiar to these to the orientation lecture. I might move on from here and see right at the end if I can take the PowerPoint off and see if I can communicate with you at the end. So hold tight till then, please. So the first thing you need to do is get all of the essentials sorted, and there's a great site for orientation, and I really encourage you to explore that. Have a look at what's being offered. There's a lot of information there, and it will probably be the way that you get most of your questions answered. So first of all, get your student ID card. And you do that through selecting Order My ID card under the My System section of Compass. So you need that ID card to complete all your important university tasks, such as borrowing from the library, sitting exams, printing. So it's really important that you get that ID card as soon as possible. Enroll in your topics, and I know you've been doing that in the Master of Social Work. I've seen the enrolments increase over time. So, but if you haven't already enrolled in all your topics for semester 1, we suggest enrolling as soon as possible to secure a class timetable that works for you. You can do that via a request via flinders.edu.au ask, or call Flinders Connect. I really encourage you all to move on that as quickly as possible so you can secure the time that suits you. We have a high number of students in the Master of Social Work, and we want to make sure that people are in classes that suit their timetable as much as possible. So for textbooks and resources, they're all available at the studentsflinders.edu.au, My Course Textbooks. There are a lot of options for sourcing textbooks, and many are available for loan at Flinders Library, as you would expect. But if you're looking to buy them, there are retailers such as Booktopia that stock textbooks. Do your research to find the best options for you, and there may be options where people are selling books from previous years. So use that link to look at what your options are. Now, parking is not always easy at Flinders, but if you get in early, you will, or if you're willing to park a little bit away from where your class is, you will find that there is quite a lot of parking around Flinders, but they do fill up quite early. So make sure you work your timetable out once we come back on campus. There's a loop bus, which is very regular and a lot of people use. And also the new railway line is open. So it will create that faster journey from the CBD in just 22 minutes. You can come in from the CBD. So I haven't used that rail line yet, but I really encourage people to start to use that to try to reduce that congestion of parking. Have a look at the scholarships and follow that link, because it's not, scholarships don't necessarily mean that only the people who got highest grades can apply. There's a lot of different scholarships, so have a look at that information. It's really helpful, and it surprised me at the times when I've looked into scholarships what is available. So have a look at those. Don't assume that that is not for you. And then there's the Wi-Fi. So please follow that Eduroam link and work out how to get Wi-Fi here when you are at Flinders and on campus. It's really important for staying connected at Flinders, and it's got a we have high-speed Wi-Fi on campus, and the other facilities attached. So please make sure you do that. And I know a lot of you aren't coming on campus for perhaps 6 to 8 weeks, but it's important to get all that set up. I really encourage you to make the most of orientation, remembering that the Masters of Social Work is only a 2-year program or a 2-year course, and sometimes people are so busy they get through the course and don't realise how many services and things have been available for them that they could have accessed while they were studying. And you never know what might happen as you go along, that you may need services or support from Flinders. So make sure that you have a really good look at what's available, and a good place to start is that orientation link. It'll let you know all of the things that are available. So this week, all week, there is a lot of things that are available to students, and also Connect Week right up until the 4th of March, Wellbeing Week in March, in very early March. The wellbeing aspect of university life is extremely important. I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. but it's really important that you connect to any wellbeing services, whether that be to get ahead and make sure you are going okay, or to get some support when things may not be going so well. And then Skill Week in the middle of March. So there's a lot of things to connect to, a lot of thoughts being put into making those services and information available to you. And it's all designed to help you connect with other people, make friends, learn about the support service, and really at its core, it's to help you set up and succeed. I know you might be thinking some of those things might not be necessary for you at the moment, but have a look at what is available, because you never know what may become necessary. So check out all the activities. There is so many of them. I had a really good, sorry, I just keep checking down to make sure I can see if anyone's got anything urgent that they want to tell me, but that's okay. So the orientation planner is very helpful. I had a really good look at that over the last week, and I found it really helpful to let everyone know what was available and what activities were going on. So drop into the Ask Anything sessions to chat with current students and Flinders staff. You can join that via the orientation planner. So definitely do that. And if there's someone there if there is not someone there to answer the specific question you have, those questions will come through to who is the most relevant person. So definitely do that and take up that offer of asking anything. There is no silly questions. There is no obvious questions. We understand that when you're new, you're new. And when you're new to university, you don't necessarily know all of the things that are available or how to go about doing what you need to do. So reach out, ask, and it can sometimes be that simple thing that sets you on the right journey. So please do that. There is multiple orientation videos in the video library. So when you go to that orientation page, have a look and you'll see those different videos. Sometimes that's a better way for you to learn about information, is to watch a video. Other people like reading it and getting their information that way. But some of us like going in and we feel more connected. I would just say use, please, and access those videos, because I would not like any of you to feel disconnected from the start. And I acknowledge that it's very hard in this pandemic period to feel as connected as you could. So please have a look at those videos. We really want to make sure we're connected to all of you. So use your flow site. Have a look at where you can get your textbooks and reading. Have a look and get a good understanding of assignments and grades, and they may be very different to previous universities that you have studied in, because I acknowledge you will have all had an undergraduate degree that you've come from. So what we require here at Flinders, or that is done in particular topics, may be very different to what you're used to. So get in and have a look at what's expected. And also go ahead and see how you may be able to get some support if you need that, and assistance with studying. All of that support is there for you, so make sure that you are accessing it if you need it. And that's all linked into looking after your well-being while you're here at uni. We genuinely care about our students in the Master of Social Work. We tend to get to know students very well, and you will see threaded throughout the entire course that there is a lot of discussion about wellbeing, and we want you to succeed, and we know that a big part of succeeding in social work is looking after yourself. So please make sure you do what is required to look after yourself while you're doing this course. Remember that help is available, and a lot of people leave reaching out for help until it's at a crisis point or people are experiencing difficulty. I really encourage you, if you need some help, reach out for it early, because I cannot tell you the amount of times students have said to me, I wish I'd known, or I wish I'd reached out for this earlier. So, finding your way at Flinders is important because it can be a very big and complex site. It takes a while to get used to, and that's on flow as well as in that physical space of Flinders. So make sure you have a look at what's available to understand the systems here. It just takes a while, and it's worth taking that time to become very familiar before your topics start in earnest. And here's that more information about the support that's available to you. And you will see this when you go on to that orientation link. There is a lot of support that's available, and make sure you're using it. Here is some information about Oasis, the Student Wellbeing Centre. So there is information and support there about community and diversity, faith and spirituality, mental and physical wellbeing. So it's a community wellbeing centre, and it's really focused and very proactive at looking at your wellbeing. So go in and have a look at that, see what they're offering, and make use of them if they are, as and when they are available, and you'll see the links there. It's a service that's available for everybody. You can see those things that, some of the things that they are looking at. So there's been a community market, and soon we're going to have Flinders Mates, so connecting people across cultures so we can have a much more rich and diverse cultural exchange. There's conversation groups that will be returning soon, face-to-face or online. We have mindful yoga that was really, really popular, and that's coming back soon. There's meditation. There's also a volunteering program, and I really encourage you to have a look at that. The mental fitness sessions, I talked about wellbeing a bit before, and then there's studyology. So go in and have a look at that. Mindfulness, also wellbeing ambassadors, healthy habits hub, and there's a summary session that you can enroll in about being well. Oops, sorry everybody, and study online support, as well as the good vibes sessions. There's a lot of, you will see them pop up at times to remind you what it is to stay healthy and how you need to stay healthy and can access support to stay healthy and well while you're here at Flinders. So I really encourage you to do that. And you can always access Oasis on the flow topic. Just search for Oasis online, and also connect with Oasis on Facebook and Instagram. I really encourage people to start to make those links. You may not need to use all of it, but some of it might be something that you're interested in or could benefit from support from. There's a mentoring program as well, and the O-Guide program is designed to help you with life at Flinders. And it can connect you with a mentor if that's something that you're looking for. And so if that is something you're looking for, make sure you register to participate, because a lot of people have given me some great feedback about that mentoring program. It's really important that you stay safe. That really contributes and is a pillar to all of that good wellbeing stuff that I talked about. And it is important for you to know that if you witness or experience any socially unacceptable behaviour or harassment, please feel free to connect with a student equal opportunity advisor or seek some support and service. It's very confidential, and people will talk to you about next steps, but will not force you into taking any particular next steps. But it's important to know what is available for you. But it helps there, so make sure, please, that you seek that if anything does come up. I am very keen to ask you all to consider being a course and student representative, and I'll give you some more information about that in a moment. If you are interested in being a course rep, please connect with me via the MSW page or send me an email, and I will be putting a email out on the MSW course flow site and asking people to make contact and be a course representative. So regardless of what's going on in any topic, you will be able to talk to me at regular periods. We will have discussions, and I welcome people from a variety of backgrounds to come and be representatives. You don't have to be voted in or other people nominate you. You can talk to me and I can set that up myself. And here's the information that you need. So for being a course representative, as I said, that's making contact with me, and it has a big impact. People really listen to that representative voice from students through course representation. So please connect with me, but also go to FUSA and they will give you information, but also training in being a course representative. I really encourage people to connect with FUSA because they will be a great deal of support if you need it throughout the time that you are here doing the Master of Social Work. Here's a bit of a structure. At the college level, we have a college education committee, and on that there is a student advisory committee rep. And then for social work, we have student advisory committee, which I run for the Masters at intervals throughout each semester. And you will be meeting with me as the course coordinator and doing those 2 to 3 sessions per year. So I really encourage people to let me know if that's something you're interested in. It's a great way to participate and represent other students. So here we're starting to talk more about social work, And I envisage this is what you were hoping to get more about. You've come into the Master of Social Work from a variety of different areas. And I recognise you're on a very short journey. It's only 2 years. And we are very conscious of that here in the Master of Social Work. And we've designed topics, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. We are very strongly embedded in the ASW professional body for social work. And this is where our accreditation comes from. We are examined and we are held to account by the ASW, and we are assessed and accredited by the ASW. So a lot of things that we are needing to, the way we teach, what we teach, and components in the course, you will see is all benchmarked by that professional social work accrediting body. So we really encourage you to become familiar with the ASW and have a look at what they are about. And they bring up themes regularly and sessions that you can join as students. You can also join the ASW as a student. We've got World Social Work Day coming up on Tuesday, the 15th of March. And I posted some information about that on the MSW Flow site last week. So please make yourself connected to that body. It's really important for you to start thinking about your identity and thinking about what social work is. There are always professional development opportunities and information, so make sure you keep your eye on that. So in social work, the expectations which comes from the ASW is that you will have 20 days of face-to-face learning, and that is all set out very carefully in the way that the course is structured. So there will be times that you are required to be on campus for 20 days. At the moment, the ASW have allowed us some leniency about that. So we are able to teach some of the topics which you would ordinarily be required to attend face-to-face online because of the pandemic. We are hoping to remove that as soon as possible. We absolutely understand that your best outcomes are when you come on campus, meet us in person and meet other students and work together and communicate together. We understand that's absolutely vital to set you up as for your placements and for a career in social work. So we are 100% committed to getting you back here on campus for those 20 days of face-to-face learning. You are also required to do 2 500-hour field education placements. So they are important, and it's important that you know that we have strong links with field education partners in the sector. And I know that Janine has done her session that is specifically about placement. So I really encourage you to go back and have a look at those. In social work, we have inherent requirements, which means we have standards that we are required to fulfill and that we ask you to fulfill. If there are issues that arise throughout the course, sometimes we will go back to those inherent requirements to talk to you about why there might be concerns about conduct or behaviour or practice. So please be aware of the inherent requirements in social work. And that may end in you needing to come and speak to me. And what I like to do is, if there are concerns, is have a meeting with people and talk about what it is that there may be concerns about, and get an understanding of how you see the situation. We also have a charter on professional conduct for student social workers, and that should be in all the flow sites. There are some people who had recognition for first placement, so recognition for prior learning, and that is quite a complex process where people are required to demonstrate that they have fulfilled the requirements that would meet the first placement requirements. So that's only available for first placements. And just reminding people that the Master of Social Work is a 72-unit program over 2 years. So once you're enrolled, you can access your course flow site. And so this will be where you receive information about the course, the sector, job opportunities, and much, much more. And I run that MSW course flow site. So I will be building that again this year and putting some more information, but I put a lot of information up, and if people from the field have jobs, for example, I put them straight there. But I will also be very strongly putting up messages there about when you need to do things like enroll for field education, or if all of a sudden we are going from on campus to online as we did during the pandemic, but I'm very much hoping that doesn't happen. Or if there is new information about the course. So please keep your eye on that and stay active on that course site. Here's the program of study, and I've put it up in its true entirety. Where you see the red, it's where you have prerequisites to do those topics. So these are all the new topics in social work. The SOAD 8020 is a topic that was previously engaging in professional context. So that's that direct practice, interviewing skills, counselling skills topic, and next to it is my new topic, which now is called engaging in professional context, all about the organisations. But that first semester gives you a really good overview of some pretty fundamental areas. You'll see that theories and also the diverse populations that you will be working with. And then we move into other topics, and you'll see the different program and how it runs for depending on where you start. If you're not sure about your study plan, go to Ask Flinders and they will connect you with a course advisor about setting out a study plan that suits you. So that's not me. I'm the course coordinator of the Masters of Social Work, which is more of an academic role, but the course advisors that you can contact via Ask Flinders are really helpful at looking at what's available, speaking to me about what is allowed and what's not allowed. So I really encourage you, if you're not sure about your study plan, to get in touch with a course advisor. They're incredibly helpful people. So what are we aiming for in social work, and what are we hoping and aiming for you to achieve in the time that you are with us? We want you to develop the knowledge and skills to practice responsibly and reflectively as a professional social worker. And that needs to be and is consistent with the ASW. We are clearly in line with what the ASW requirements require, and we continue to check that, self-regulate, self-monitor, and we also are accredited regularly for that. We believe and we teach an inclusive and ethical professional practice for social workers, and you will learn more about what that means. Critical reflection is important, and you will hear that a great deal. And we will be drawing in those current social justice debates to assist us to reflect on ourselves, our approach, where our own approach has come from, but also where that sits in the current climate. We will educate about the colonial history of Australia and the long-term effects on First Nations Australians. And we make a very strong basis in all of our topics. And also when you're on placement, it's a very strong feature of the practice standards. So that truth-telling and that colonial history will be thoroughly explored. The knowledge about current evidence-based professional social work practice models and approaches are taught. And that's not just in the theories topic, they will be taught throughout different topics that you are involved in. We also have a strong research nexus, and you will have access to that. You will be able to assess the value of research for social work practice and articulate a framework for inclusive, ethical, professional social work practice in research. We have a strong research arms in Swells, and that really informs the teaching throughout the whole course of the Master of Social Work. There are professional values, knowledge and skills that you will be asked to demonstrate and also to practice and use to support your judgments and demonstrate expertise. It all links back to those ASW requirements and specifications. So have a look at the ASW, have a look at the values, and have a look at the practice standards that we will be weaving for you throughout the course over the next couple of years that you are with us. We have a strong focus on the cultural context of various practices, approaches, and the relevance, and also how that impacts on specific situations and populations. So that's something that you will need to explore more of as you go along. And we also have interpersonal practice, so you can develop those skills and learn how to work with people at that individual level. We have a strong focus on social policy because that is where we understand and make sense of the work we do with people. And also, as I said, the research at the national and international level. So we really are looking forward to engaging and working with you and helping you learn on this journey throughout the whole course. So here I'm asking, is there anything that people want to ask? And I'll take the PowerPoint down so I can see your questions. Okay, I can now see you all there, all 36 of you. So you joined numbers before while I was speaking. So thank you for that. If you would like to, I can now see the chat. Is there anyone? Nicola, you have your hand up. You've lowered your hand now, Nicola. Would anybody else like to put their hand up and turn the microphone on? Okay, I'm not seeing. Okay, Marcelini Musa, would you like to ask a question? Do you want to put your, take your microphone off mute and ask anything? I'm starting to think that you don't have any questions, that everything was very clear. I hope that's the case. Okay, I can't see any more hands up, and I can't see anything in the chat. I'm just asking a question. Okay. All right. I see. The site is frozen and people aren't able to raise. I'm going to just try to move it and see if that makes a difference. Okay, I can't do that. Got someone joining at the moment. I have seen that the chat is off and you can't communicate with me. I'm very sorry about that. I've got my chat on. Could somebody please try turning your microphone off and speaking? All right. I'm very sorry. Let me see. Okay. Sorry, I think, exhausted everything I'm able to do on this, and I don't know why we're having some of these issues. So I'm very sorry. If any of you would like to ask me a question, please, you could either send me an email, connect to any of the links I have made in the PowerPoint, or ask Flinders is usually a good way to get directed to the right person. Very sorry our technology wasn't working today. I can absolutely say that this does not occur when we are in our Collaborate sessions through our usual flow topic pages. So I'm very sorry about that. Okay, thank you very, very much. And I'm going to go now. So I look forward to seeing you very soon in classes. Thanks very much.